guys, I've been literally sitting here thinking, how am I going to deliver this video? Because I want to make sure I deliver it in the best way as possible. Because the game that we're going to cover today is not only my favorite game of all time, but it's the most enjoyable one as well. We have the classic Modern Warfare 2 on PlayStation 3, where everything was happening. You know, I know it came on different platforms such as like the PC and stuff like that, but this is where it all happened, you know, on the PlayStation 3. And it's crazy because during the time I was in school, but we're going to get into that. We're going to start off with the introduction first. You know, it was literally made from Infinityward. You know, shouts out to them because they're still going strong, and published by Activision. You know, these two developers have placed a really good, you know, place in my heart for sure for actually creating this game. And not only this game, but a couple of others as well. But, you know, when it comes to Modern Warfare 2, it's a bit different, you know, because I think you guys can relate. I just felt like the online, everything was just perfect. The online, the story mode, you know, the spec ops and etc. And we're going to get into that though, definitely. This game did come out in 2009. So we're talking what? Wow, a good 15, 16 years, pretty much long. I was in school at the time, as I mentioned, but we're going to get into that. And in 2013, this game sold over 22.7 million copies, which was classified as one of the best selling games of all time. You know, that's incredible. And I'm not surprised. So, guys, I hope you guys can immerse yourself within this video, because how I feel, I know you guys will probably feel the same. Let's delve into Modern Warfare 2. Man, where can we start with this game? I used to honestly skip school. You know, I was in school during the time this game come out. You know, I was in my last year. I was in year 11. I know for you guys that are Americans or any other people that are watching this video, it's a bit different for you guys, but I'm from the UK, so it's a bit different. Yeah, I was in actually year 11, so I was on the verge of going to college. And yeah, man, it was crazy because I used to actually skip school in order to get my hands on this game more. I used to want to better my skills within this game, and I did manage to become one of the greatest players on this game. I know I don't have any form of proof at the moment right now, but I wasn't a content creator back then, and I wish I was. But hopefully I can dig up a file, you know, probably one of the days and get it uploaded. To be honest, I should have did it for this video, but I'd have to dig up my PlayStation 3 and etc. You know, which is going to be quite a while because I'm not even too sure where the wires are and stuff like that. And I don't even know how the game plays out till today, you know, because it's been a while. It has been a while. But as I said, going back, you know, as I was skipping school, I used to watch different YouTubers as well. You know, there was a lot of YouTubers back then that were literally putting in the work. You know, shouts out to them guys that actually brought Modern Warfare 2 alive. Because if it weren't for them, this game wouldn't be as popular as it was, or classified as to me, in my opinion, it is classified as the greatest Call of Duty game out there, hands down. You cannot fault that. Don't get me wrong, there has been Call of Duties out there that have been fantastic, such as Black Ops. You know, I feel like I would probably put that second, but nothing beats Modern Warfare 2. And I can't wait to delve into more of the stuff that was involved in this game. You know, and even I've had numerous obsessions with like nukes and stuff. You know, I can't even date how many nukes I have. Like I used to keep like a little file on how many nukes I used to get, which was insane, because you're thinking like this guy was really into the game. Yeah, I was definitely into the game. I wanted to become the best player of all time on Call of Duty, and I can honestly say I was literally one of them. I was not the greatest, of course not, because there was literally people out there that they were different, man, honestly, but they made me how I was regarding the game itself. And also the kill streaks as well. numerous of kill streaks. You know, we're talking kill streaks like the chopper gunner, the AC-130, the Pavlo, you know, all these kill streaks, man. Oh my gosh, all of these bring back memories. You know, one of the worst kill streaks that was the one that you needed to have, which was mandatory, was the Harriers. Because, you know, once you get the Harriers, you know, it was pretty much game over. Like, literally, you could hide. Once you get the Harriers, you could hide, and the Harriers just does its job. And then next minute, you know, you've got the Pavlo, you've got the chopper gunner, and the next minute, you know, you got that noise, which was the nuke, you know. And I was a sort of person where I used to leave the nuke towards the end. You know, I didn't want to explode it straight away. But you know what the issue was with that sometimes? We used to have quite a lot of disconnections because I used to be a ground war player, you know, and back then when it was ground war, because there was so much people in the lobby, it used to malfunction. And there was times where I had the nuke and the game used to just click off, and I used to just grab my head and just, oh man. Oh gosh, I really miss them days, man. Honestly, seriously, man, I'm literally going back to like my childhood, and I can honestly say this game played a massive, massive part of my childhood. You know, and I even remember as well with the grenade launchers being launched through the terminal map. You know, everybody used to spawn in that area, which was pretty insane. And there was a perk that you used to obtain. It used to do more damage than you know, the actual normal way. And it was pretty crazy, man. Honestly, it was outstanding. Let's delve into a bit more about the perks. You know, regarding the perks that I used to obtain, I was kind of like a marathon runner for sure. I did really like the marathon, you know, because at times where you are really low on, you know, ammunition, you would kind of want the marathon to obviously collect, you know, whatever you need. However, I know in that perk section, that perk 1 section, it used to have it had the, I can't remember the exact names, but it used to have kind of like the fast reload, and it used to have the scavenger. I think the scavenger was the main one in the game for sure, because, you know, it depends what weapon you had. You know, different types of weapons had different amount of ammo, and I did have a few weapons that used to run out quick, such as the FAMAS, you know, because it's a 3-round burst. So it was like, and it's like if you don't get the player, you know, you used to keep on pressing it to the point where you ran out of ammo. And it wasn't always the case using your second weapon, because it wasn't effective as the actual first weapon. So yeah, I can honestly say I was definitely a marathon and a scavenger perk holder. And then in perk 2, you had stopping power and you had hardline, and them two were my mains. And also cold-blooded as well. You know, if you ask me overall, I was a stopping power person. You know, sometimes I used to feel like, you know, the weapons weren't doing enough damage, to the point where the stopping power was really good for all types of weapons. You know, and that one was the way forward for me. Hardline was definitely a way forward as well, you know, in terms of getting your kill streaks quite quicker. You know, but it was only one, and I thought to myself, you're only ending up killing an extra player. It only takes off one. If it was 2 or 3, which obviously I doubt it, bit of cheating that is, wouldn't really make sense. So hardline was up there, but it weren't like first choice. And cold blood was brilliant. It was underrated as well. When you max out the perk itself, it was absolutely fantastic, because it used to keep you away from, you know, the UAVs, the counter UAVs and stuff like that. And it was really good. And what it was is it used to take the marker off your head, and there used to be like a little cheat thing where you press triangle and you keep pressing it while you're prone. And it used to basically look like your character was dead. I don't think you guys knew that, you know, but I used to do that, and the players never used to see me, and it was a good way of catching opponents out. So Cold Blood was definitely, in the top 3, I would say. But overall, I would say stopping power for perk 2. And perk 3, we had ninja and we had steady aim. I was more or less a steady aim person because I was up close and personal every single time. Most of the time, unless I was sniping and stuff. But the steady aim was definitely, the pinnacle of the game. Once you're up close and personal, it used to work really, really well with certain weapons. So you don't need to lock on straight away. Ninja was really good as well, don't get me wrong. Especially when you max it out where the players can't hear your movement at all. Incredible. So that was more or less my second choice. But overall, in the third perk, I would definitely go for, what was it that I just said? The steady aim. That was it. I think the game was fantastic overall in terms of what it offered, but what more attracted me were the weapons, a large amount of weapons that you could obtain and use, and they were very effective in comparison to the ones that you actually play on the devices now. As I'm going to list out a couple of weapons that I used during my time during this game, and one of them was the FAMAS. My overall favorite weapon was the FAMAS. Once it was maxed out, I feel like it was incredible. It was literally like one shot kill. Once you had a good aim on it, put a little decent attachments such as the red dot sight, you were all good to go. And it didn't waste no time, catching your opponents and stuff. So I felt like the weapon was very effective. You have other weapons as well that were 3-round bursts, like the M4, but I just don't feel like the M4 was on levels with the FAMAS. But it was a good weapon. It was a decent weapon. Also, the AK-47, which was the last weapon that you had to obtain throughout, the prestiging side to it. It was a really good weapon as well. A lot of people would probably think different, but I really enjoyed it. I didn't have no attachments on it at all. I just had the stopping power on there. And I just used to run around with the marathon and getting people. I just felt like, players died quicker with the weapon. It was a very effective weapon. And to be honest, it weren't the last gun for no reason. It's obviously the last gun to obtain for a reason. And my reason was definitely matching up with the weight for the weapon itself. Yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. Overall, I was a mixture of, a guy that used to use assault rifles, and I used to mix it up with obviously sniper rifles. In my opinion, my favorite sniper rifle would be the Barrett 50 cal. In my opinion, definitely the most effective sniper in the game. The Intervention was a really good sniper, don't get me wrong, and I know a lot of you probably flow with that, but I feel like the Barrett 50 cal was just on another level in terms of, the power itself, the sound of it, the recoil. It was overall fantastic in my opinion. The Intervention was more for quick scoping because it was more light impact in comparison to the Barrett. A lot of people did use the Intervention as a scoping, weapon, which is totally understandable. As I said, it was nice and quick. With the Barrett 50 cal, you kind of had to take your time and, catch your opponents at the right time. With the Intervention, it was kind of like a quick scope here and there. But yeah, overall, in terms of the sniper rifles, I would definitely choose was the Barrett 50 cal for sure. If you ask me, in comparison to the FAMAS, my overall favorite weapon on the game has to go to the ACR. The ACR was just an all-round weapon that you can shoot from long range, middle range, and close range. The weapon was just, oh man, I can't even express right now. Like, it was just too good. Once you pieced a couple attachments on there, such as the silencer, didn't even need no red dot. No red dot, no ACOG or anything like that. The weapon itself was just deadly. And I feel like that was the only weapon, only weapon that did not need stopping power. Honestly, that weapon there was fantastic, I can honestly say. But we've had a couple of more weapons that I thought that were really good as well, but I don't think they're matching with the weapons that I've just mentioned. You know, with the likes of I think it was the TAR 21. That weapon was quite good. You know, I just felt like it ran out quite a bit too quick for my liking. Also the AUG, I think that's how you say it. You know, that weapon was pretty much powerful as well, but it was really slow. And also the FAL, that was like a one-shot pop. You know, I really loved that weapon. I used to have that weapon all maxed out with cold-blooded, you know, on a couple of the stages that were really pitch black. You know, and it was really effective because I used to hide in the bushes as well. And nobody used to see me because the cold blood, you know, with the actual name on top of the head, you never used to have it. So I used to always hide in the bushes, which was pretty crazy. You know, I really miss this game, man, honestly. But yeah, they're all my go weapons for this game for sure. Say overall, the story was good. You know, Captain Soap hunting down Vladimir Makarov with his team. You know, he was the leader of the Russian party. There was a bit of controversy during the time that this game was released. You know, a lot of people felt it was offensive, which is totally understandable. I'm not saying in any way that it weren't understandable at all. You know, I'm just literally saying what the game, you know, produced. On my overall opinion of the story, I think it was really good. I definitely recommend, you know, during at the time to go through the story before hopping into multiplayer mode, because you can kind of experience the weapons that were actually going to be in multiplayer, and literally all of them were, well, majority of them was, you know. But I don't know if it was me, or let me know, guys, what did you think? Did you think that the guns, you know, were pretty much better in the story mode in comparison to the multiplayer? I felt that way. They felt, you know, a bit more steady, you know, a bit more powerful as well. But that's just part of the game itself, innit? But yeah, overall the story mode was a really good shout, I can honestly say. You know, even with like the cliffhangers and, you know, the different types of sceneries, the snow missions and whatnot, it was really good, man. Also the Spec Ops as well. The Spec Ops was something that I left last, and I literally ran through it. I did play a bit of co-op, but I decided to test my skills and play single player, and I managed to gain all stars on every single level, which I'm really proud of myself of today, because it was really challenging for sure after Spec Ops, you know. And I remember in the last mission as well, when you had to deal with the juggernauts, you know, it's pretty insane, man. We can go back, you know, all the way in time and just remember everything step by step throughout this whole process of completing the story mode, you know, doing the Spec Ops and then hopping into multiplayer mode. You know, pretty crazy, man. But yeah, the Spec Ops was really a good addition to the game itself. I think it helped the game, as it's kind of like you treat it as like an extra bonus thing for us all. And it was really good because obviously you can play co-op, and, you know, I'm not too sure if it was 4 players. I'm not 100% sure, but I know obviously you can play co-op with somebody else. And it was really good, you know, especially if when you had that person that was kind of like on your levels, if you was a really good player, you know, everything just worked well. And yeah, guys, till this day, this game holds, you know, the best first shooter person game of all time, you know, and that's without a doubt. You know, there's research that proves it. You know, the stats have proves it. You just imagine if a game came out like that of today, you know, because we all know the CODs are not matching. Call of Duties, to be precise, are matching with these Call of Duties that came out, you know, over a decade ago. There's no way, there's no match at all. You know, I was pretty disappointed them releasing the Modern Warfare 2. They should have changed the name. I'm not saying it was a bad game, but I just don't feel like something should be named the same if it weren't the same, if that makes sense. Yeah, it does make sense. You know, gotta find a name for it. Even with the actual Call of Duty, the latest one that's not long ago come out, that one has got the old maps, which I thought it was pretty cool. I didn't even play it, but I did see the actual, you know, the maps and stuff, and they look clear. They've cleaned up a few things that really looked, you know, blurry back then. But yeah, I feel like that's the only cool thing I've really seen in terms of, you know, matching up with, you know, the old Call of Duties. But besides that, you can't compare these Call of Duties that come out past then. Definitely not, for sure. You know, there's too much history within these games. You know, we even got the big content creators as proof, you know, giving these games really good scores, with IGN giving this game a 9.5, and you got Push Square giving it a 9 out of 10. And these guys have been in the business for, you know, for years. And it just shows, guys, how much Modern Warfare 2 has excelled throughout, you know, the time that it's been out. And not so long ago as well, they kind of cleaned the servers as well, which I thought it was pretty cool. But unfortunately, the buzz weren't there anymore. You know, I felt like once you know, finish something, it's hard to just go back to it and, you know, carry on with it. But then again, it was pretty cool going back and playing it and whatnot. But it didn't feel like how it used to feel before, when the game was, you know, the highlight of everything, like literally everything. But yeah, we can honestly say that we've had really good memories regarding this game. And I know it's going to be really difficult for, you know, the developers to actually bring a Call of Duty out like this again, due to the mechanics and how it was played and the enjoyment. Because we can be honest that the enjoyment within the CODs that are out now, the Call of Duties, is not the same enjoyment how we used to enjoy before. Definitely not. But hopefully, fingers crossed, you know, something does happen, because I really don't want the Call of Duty franchise itself as a whole to go downhill. You know, because according to research and stuff, it pretty much is, if you ask me. But who knows, guys? Who knows? This is what happens when, you know, you start off on the high and then you're not really giving what the actual customers want. But it's all part of the plan. It's up to them to obviously listen. I don't know. I don't know, but I'm retired. I'm a Call of Duty veteran already. I've already retired, so I can only have my opinion on it, and I just want the best for them, and hopefully they can, you know, create something like this again. Fingers crossed.